Okay, so hello everybody.
Hello everybody.
Good afternoon. I know it's after lunch and all. I hope y'all had a light one, or I'm just gonna have to scream to keep you up. Because what we give you today is not just about giving you something that's gonna make you feel good. I'm not into making you feel good. In fact, a lot of what I give you today, is gonna step on your toes. It's gonna make you scream. I'm just gonna tell you.
It might sting a little, but it's good for you.
It's good for you. It's certainly good for you. How many people know the Grown Zone? By show of hands. Ooh, we got some new people. Yeah, I love it. We got some folk who know us too. Here's who we are. Let me give a little bio, a little bit of background. I'm Zara D. This is Alfred Edmond Jr. And together we make up what we call the Grown Zone. In the Grown Zone, we distinguish what you have the adult right to do versus those things that are grown decisions and that are to your advantage. Now, we all know, we ain't talking about y'all, we're talking about your cousins and your friends and all of them who make some real messy decisions. They are living a very adult and messy life because they're going on talking about what they have the right to do and they think that makes them grown. But the decisions are leading them to anywhere but a good place. And they end up in cycles. So what we want to do today, I'm Zara Green, I'm a speaker and trainer, can you tell? It's what I do. Personal growth is really my love. You know why? Because when I give you some information, and you're able to then take that information, turn it into some skill sets, and make some better decisions for yourself, then I've given you a lifelong lesson that's going to make a change in your life. That's why I love personal growth. Y'all here to make money? I'm telling you, if you don't get this personal growth piece right, then it's going to affect your money. You're going to do some things that are because of your personal growth being arrested, the arrested development, that's going to make you make some decisions, especially in love. Because y'all done gave somebody a PIN number. Y'all done bought somebody a car. Y'all done let somebody move in your house. Okay, so I've been, I'm going to just break this down just a little bit. So I've been speaking and training for over 20 years in the area of personal growth. Alfred Edmond Jr., many of y'all know him from Black Enterprise. He's Chief Content Officer. He's extraordinary, y'all. I mean, there's a whole lot I could say about him, but the biggest thing is that he's my baby.
All yours, all the time, for always.
Yes, that makes me the happiest girl in the world and the luckiest girl in the world.
Only because I'm not a girl. So, yeah, my name is Alfred Every Jr. Again, I've spent now 28 years at Black Enterprise. I'm also the host of a syndicated radio feature called Money Matters for America Radio Networks. I'm a little bit into clothes and being my fabulous self. So I have my own signature bow tie line. This is the bow tie for my line. I wear a lot of hats, but my main passion, my main ministry that I share with Zara, that is the kind of the gold thread that runs through everything that I do professionally and even personally in terms of my passion for mentorship, is helping people to make better decisions. What do we define as better? Healthier. Healthier. And this is a theme we're going to hit many times during the course of this brief presentation, because that really is the standard. Not good or bad, or, you know, many of you carry shame because you think you did something good or bad, or holy or unholy, though that I'm a Christian, I believe in holiness, but a lot of times you're making some very unholy decisions for holy reasons. We're speaking as people, we'll talk about it later, and that's a personal growth book disguised as a relationship book. Because the same thing with money in your business. If your personal growth ain't right, if you're operating from a space of hurt and shame and guilt and inadequacy with yourself, every relationship you attract is going to reflect that. Which is why some of us are repeating the same cycles over and over and over again, thinking the problem is out there, when it really is a problem in here.
Yes. So you already see this slide. Meet us Sunday, Barnes & Noble, at 6100 North May Avenue between, that is wrong, it's 4 and 6. It is not 2 and 4. It's 4 and 6, my bad.
I got a photo shoot at that time.
Well, come before that. The book will be there. week right here. You need the book. It's between 4 and 6, y'all. Between 4 and 6. My bad on that one. Okay, let's get into this. Adulthood happens. All you gotta do is keep breathing in, and you're gonna reach what's called the majority of age and become an adult. The problem is too many people think that that is the final stage.
Yes. Particularly for us men who will roll around and you act like we're grown men and we're not. We're just grown boys. All right, we're grown boys. There's a standard, and those who follow me on Twitter know that I tweet using this hashtag, a grown man knows. You have to start recognizing what a grown man is, not by what he looks like, not by how many zeros are on his paycheck, not by the kind of car he drives, but how he conducts himself. And guess what? You can't tell that at a glance. You can't tell that at a glance. One of the chapters in our book is 3 signs he's not a grown man and 3 signs she's not a grown woman. And it's nothing you can see at a glance. So this issue of understanding the difference between adult and grown is what brought me and Zara together in the first place. Because most of the raggedy, wretched decisions we made in our life, we had the absolute adult right to do. Many of them were blessed by our parents. Many were blessed by our pastors. Many were blessed by our friends. Oh, you should go ahead and marry that dude. Oh, you should go ahead and do that. Girl, if you don't give him to him, somebody else is going to do it. It's all adult stuff. We have the right to do whatever we want to do. But what you have the right to do is not necessarily a grown, healthy choice.
Yes. Are you ready to graduate from adulthood? Because that's not the final stage.
That's not a rhetorical question, y'all.
Are you ready to graduate from adulthood? Because you graduate at every stage in life and it moves you to something else. What's happened is we have been told adulthood is the final stage.
Yes.
Well, there are a whole lot of people whose development has been arrested at adulthood, and they're going around doing all kinds of things that are contrary to their benefit. And they're saying, but I'm grown and I have the right to do it. No, you are an adult who's making some decisions that are not working out to your advantage, so there is clearly another stage.
How many of y'all have parents who aren't grown?
Well, don't raise your hand. Don't raise your hand. That was rhetorical. Because the reality is, if you all get a hold of this, then even if that's not the case right now, then you will be able to look at the things that your parents are doing and be able to say, I will not repeat that.
Yes.
So I will be more grown than they have been. And that's the objective. That's what Next Decision Better is about. Okay, so here's what we're about to do. We're about to run through some principles for you. Here we go. So what does a grown decision-making agenda look like? Though we are each unique, we are created with a common purpose to grow, i.e., learn and to love.
So let's start with the growing and learning, which are both the same things, which are synonymous with each other. The only difference between you and that chair is that chair can never be anything other than what it is, a chair. It can't grow because it can't learn. It is what it is. It can exist and it can decay because it will break down someday, but it can't grow. But if you're a human being and you've decided not to grow, you may be walking around, you may be animated, but you're not alive.
Ooh, that's a lot of us.
You are not alive. The metaphor for zombies, if some of y'all watch The Walking Dead, is for people who are walking around, they're animated, they're impacting people, they're devouring other people, but they're not alive. So if you're not committed to growing and learning, which is the purpose for which each of us were created, we're all individuals, but this unique aspect of the purpose of our creation is to grow. The other purpose of our creation is to love and be loved.
Yes.
What do you have to do to deserve to be loved? Just anybody raise your hand. Well, what do you have to do to deserve it? You exist. Now, some of you gave the right answer, nothing, but a lot of you are repelling love from your lives because there's something inside you that says, I only deserve it so much. I only deserve it being so good because that thing that happened to me, or that place where I come from, or my race, or my gender, or where my hood is, or what my family does says, I'm only worthy of this much. And guess what? You cannot receive love from others that can exceed your love of yourself.
That's right. You heard that?
So if you set the bar down here, no matter what happens, you ain't getting more than it. So this idea that we start out understanding that it is our purpose, it's our reason to exist, to grow and learn, to make our next decision better, that's another thing you're going to hear, and to love and be loved. Say it again. Which one? The love you seek from others can never exceed the love you give to yourself. It's impossible.
That's for all of you who are mothers and putting yourself on the back burner because you're giving so much to the children, your wives, you're sacrificing all kinds of stuff and not paying attention to your own needs. You are doing everything you can do to put that person in front of you. No, you have got to love you in a way that you can then tell somebody else and show somebody else how to love you. If you're not doing that, then you don't have the agenda established yet. So if the agenda is not established, you're not ready for love. Now we're gonna run through these, y'all, because I don't want time to catch up with this. Next, healthy relationships are about how you are being treated, not how you are being made to feel.
We started out this presentation saying some of this stuff is not going to always feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Because love is not always about making you feel good. It isn't. It's about being treated well. And so many times we get caught up in he or she made me feel so good. I did something that I wouldn't normally do. Or that I know is not healthy for me.
How many of y'all, please don't raise your hand, this is rhetorical. Please don't raise your hand, this is rhetorical. How many of you have heard somebody say, I'll put it that way, girl, I know he ain't no good for me, but damn, he rocks my world. Oh, but the sex is so good. Well, I'm going to say to you, you better love yourself better than that.
Yes.
You better love yourself more than that. You worth more than, if you say you're worth more than that, you deserve more than that, then you better treat yourself better than that. Amen. That's on the real. Don't walk around here thinking you grown, talking about, well, but we all got a sex drive and I got to satisfy my sex drive. Yeah, you satisfy your sex drive. Don't you give that to somebody else. All right, I'm gonna move on with it. Are you ready to graduate from adulthood? Yes. All right, I move on. Don't mistake being wanted or desired for being valued and loved. Yes.
Let me say, I know we're talking to mostly women here, but this is everything we talk about is both genders. Mm-hmm. Yeah, men and women are different, but we have more in common than we have that are different. All right? So I'm gonna give you two versions of this. When you value or you mistake being wanted or desired for being valued and loved, that's the woman that just because the man wants her, he wants to let her have it. She wants to open herself. Oh, he wants me, he desires me. Oh my God. But that ain't,
she's mistaken that
she's
for love.
mistaken that for love. Yeah. Same thing as the other way around. Dude thinks, oh, she is hot for me. Not my wallet, not my car, not my job.
Even though he's forking it over.
He's forking it over, paying the bills, whatever. There's a difference between being wanted and desired and being valued and loved. But society, movies, music, your own family will screw all of that stuff up. And we heard earlier one of the speakers talking about the price tag. Jay, I think, talking about if you put a price on it, you're automatically not loved. You can't be loved and objectified at the same time. Objectification is for things. Love is for people. But if you allow yourself to be used, you become a thing. You are being valued for what you have, what you look like, and what you can do. That's not love, that's objectification. Yeah. So you got to understand the difference, and this still goes back to that first point. If you don't value yourself for who you are, not what you look like, what you have, and what you can do, we heard in several sessions, oh, well, I'm less valuable if I have this much money in the bank versus that much money in the bank. I'm less valuable if I weigh this much versus that much. Or I'm less valuable if I have my face and hair looking like this than looking like that. All of those things are the whats that have nothing to do with your intrinsic, priceless, precious, limitless value. But if you don't believe it, you're not going to convince anybody else of it.
You don't get what you desire or deserve in love or life. You get what you accept. I'm going to sit there for a moment. Because I want you in your mind right now in your relationships to think about what it is you are currently accepting. What it is you are currently tolerating that you know does not bring you honor, esteem, nor respect. If you are accepting it, then you have not established a standard, an agenda for your own treatment. And I'm telling you, until and unless you do that, you are not ready for a healthy relationship. You cannot expect other people to do onto you, to treat you in ways that you have not treated yourself or established a standard for which you are to be treated. You can't.
Let me piggyback and add something else to that. You don't get what you want in relationships, you get what you are.
Wow.
If you want a person of fidelity in your life, you got to practice fidelity on yourself and with yourself. If you want to have a life of joy and adventure, you can't be sitting around up in your house waiting for somebody to bring that to you. You need to be living a life of joy and adventure, because that will attract other people who want to live that same life. There's a quote that says, the minute you settle for less than you deserve, you get even less than you settle for. So when you starting to blame, or he don't do this right and she don't do that right, and why can't I get treated? And then you have to say, who set the standard? They're only operating to your standard. And one more thing before I let this point go. Some of y'all say, I don't take no mess, because if he does this, I cuss him out, I throw him out, I key his car. I don't take it. I don't take it. Except after you throw that tantrum, and then you go on back. Nobody cares if you have a heart attack and you curse somebody out, but if you continue to reward the behavior.
That's what you're doing.
So yeah, there are some people that know, yes, she's gonna cuss me out, but after she cusses me out, everything's gonna go back to normal. I just gotta weather the storm.
That's it.
And it's gonna be all right. And next thing you know, you got 2, 3, 5, 10, 12 years of him knowing he's gonna get cussed out every 3 weeks. But he don't care, because he still gets to do what he wants to do.
You've conditioned
You've
him.
conditioned
He
him.
has conditioned, or vice versa.
Either whoever
she
it
has
is.
conditioned. It's about conditioning. And you're going to condition for healthy, or you're going to condition for dysfunction. It's up to you. Are you ready to graduate from adulthood? Yeah, I'll ask you this every couple slides, because I know we're giving you some stuff to make you think. I know we're giving you some stuff that you've got to start to shift your thinking. I know I'm giving you some stuff for many of you who are making a whole lot of money, but realize your personal life is in turmoil. Because a whole lot of y'all know how to make some money. All that means is you've gotten into a discipline. Okay? For those of you who are doctors and lawyers and all of that, you're in a discipline you've learned how to do, and this society rewards you for it with financial gain. That's all that means. And I'm telling you, you need to be as proficient, if not more proficient, about your personal growth, because that is what's going to determine your happiness in life.
Yes.
All people should be required to prove worthy of access to your money, your home, your body, and your heart.
Yes.
I'm going to let you do that.
When you're feeling it, what's the first thing you want to give up? When you are feeling him or her, what is the first thing society tells you to give up?
Tell the truth now.
Girl, you better give it before somebody, if you don't give it to him, somebody else will. How many times, we watch a lot of true crime television and judge shows. Zara calls it educational television.
It's educational programming. Y'all better pay attention.
When you watch Fatal Attraction or any of those shows, that ended with she got killed, right? She disappeared, she got killed, somebody hired somebody to kill somebody else.
Or he got killed.
Go back to the beginning and measure in the storyline how soon after meeting that person she gave up one or all of these.
Yeah.
How many women, and don't raise, this is really rhetorical because some of us are in this room.
This is not to shame, y'all. That's not what we do.
Some of us in this room knows that somebody gave access to a home prematurely and somebody got molested. Somebody gave access to a home prematurely and somebody's bank account got cleaned out. Somebody put somebody as a co-signer on a car because they're going to help the brother out. They're going to, and their credit got ruined. Somebody, these are the four things that are here's the deal. Let's say you get in a relationship with someone and it's a disaster. If you withheld those four things, chances are no permanent damage. But every movie you see, every television show you see, every song, well not every song, but most of the songs you hear tell you, if you're feeling it and he or she is feeling you, give that up right away. Within hours often of meeting. And we're telling you that is not grown. It's not grown because it's not healthy. The consequences to you and those, when we talk about honor, esteem, and respect, that everybody in that relationship should get honor, esteem, and respect, that includes your minor children. It's everybody that's under the umbrella of your love and your care needs to be protected. And these are the 4 things you must protect, no matter what the rest of the world is telling you to do, unless you're willing to deal with the consequences.
And know that there are consequences. And you have the adult right to do whatever
you want to do.
You want to do. Y'all remember that song? It's your thing. I do what you want to do. I can tell you what I do. We can't tell you what to do with your thing.
But there's never a second verse to that song that says what happens after you decide.
Alright. We can stay here. Y'all don't even understand how we can stay here. We got to go. It is not your responsibility, nor is it within your power to change, fix, or control another person's behaviors with your love.
Their behaviors, their habits, their lifestyles. So again, we could do this one all day too. For those of you who are thinking, when he tells you, I'll settle down when I find the one, and you think you're going to love and sex him into getting rid of all the other competition, that is very, very foolish, I'm just telling you. If a man is not committed to fidelity without you, on general principle, because that's just who he is and the way he is, he's not going to suddenly change his lifestyle for you, even if he believes he is.
Come on.
Because the sad truth is, us men are suffering from the same delusions. We spend all of our lives, I'm talking about the first time I was told that you never turn down a piece of punani. I was 10. That's my uncle told me. That if you got to lie about it, okay, there's a thing we used to call, y'all gonna hear some stuff that us men say that are terrible. That even if she's a double bagger, you take it. You know what a double bag is? She's so ugly, you gotta wear a paper bag and she gotta wear a paper bag. So hers falls off.
You don't take it down.
That's what I'm saying. That's what too many of us men have been taught since we were before teens. The sad truth is that we get cheated too. Here's another way you know a grown man from just an adult male. A grown man knows he needs emotional safety and fidelity and security and trust just as much as any woman does. So you have to understand that you're not going to fix somebody like that. Sex is a reward. It's an affirmation of existing behavior. It's not a change in behavior.
Come on, just slow that down. I think they heard that.
Sex is an affirmation of existing behavior.
So if that fool rolling up on you, talking about, ooh, baby, ooh, you look good from head to toe. Ooh, I could just slap you up, and you falling for that? Okay, let me get a little more sophisticated.
More importantly, it's not, yours isn't gold-plated. That's all I'm trying to say. It's not. It really isn't. It really is. And no, but I'm saying us men, not only men as individual men, but you got to understand, this is a society driven by men to objectify you. We'd love to convince you that you are going to put it on me so much it's going to make me drop everybody else.
I got to address something here, y'all. We talk about men and their egos. That's women and their egos.
That's
for
true.
you to think
that you're going to do it.
That you're going to be the one to change it. Oh no, baby, I got it like that. I got it like that. Watch this, watch this, watch what this do to it. Watch. No, you the one, the only person getting screwed in that boo is you. Alright, now move on. Are you ready to graduate from adulthood? Yes. That's what I'm saying. See, because you got to face it. You got to be able to look at it.
Deal with it.
And you got to deal with the stuff we're talking about. Because your mama and them didn't know to tell you this. The people in the church ain't sure how to tell you this. They don't really know it either. We know this stuff because we've been through it. And because we're on a personal growth path, I know this stuff because I grew up in my daddy's barbershop, who also owned a beauty shop. So I'd hear what all the men were saying over here, and then daddy would send me over there to hear what the women were saying. On Saturday mornings, I'd be in daddy's barbershop and listening to all the men talking about whose daughter they going to get tonight. And I'd go to the beauty shop and hear all the women talking about what husband they going to get tonight. Well, guess what happened? They all kept meeting up, and a whole lot of screwing was popping off. But the only one getting what they wanted was the men. The women were the ones left with every ripple effect that came out of that screw. All right, I ain't got a lot of time. I just got to dump.
I got to find some way to get you out of your shell, baby.
Drawing clear, hard lines for what you will and will not accept is an act of love of yourself first and others.
It's not bad for you to know that no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't got to justify it. And that includes saying no to yourself.
Come on.
So when you have wavering standards, that's no standard. When you can't draw a hard line with your husband, your boyfriend, your children, your mama, your daddy, your relatives, what you have become is a volunteer victim.
Yes.
A volunteer victimhood. You can tell you're a volunteer victim when it's everybody else's fault.
And they always do this to me.
They always do this to me. They put me in this situation. They make me do this. That means you have not drawn hard, clear lines for what you will and will not accept. Now I'm just going to take being a parent as an example. I raised 4 children. They're all in adulthood now. The most important thing you can do, a couple of them are actually grown. 1 or 2 of them are grown, and the other ones are adults. But the most valuable thing you can do, it's not spank or not spank, give or not give, spoil or not spoil. It's just whatever you say you're going to do, do it. Yes. They want to know where the line is. They want to know where the boundaries are. Same thing in dating relationships. You got to draw a line and stick to that line. So you're teaching people, what are you teaching them? How to love you, how to treat you, how to care for you. And it's not their responsibility to decide what is expert care for you. That's your responsibility. And then once you've decided that, it's your job to say, you fine and all that, but
I'm going to drop this nugget. Well, earlier today when I talked about understanding who you are at the core, well, I started with personal growth teaching temperaments, and every single thing I do, that I teach temperaments. That is how you naturally respond to things, your thought processes, your emotions, your behaviors. And we each have very different responses to external stimuli, as well as our own thoughts, okay? And what happens is there's a pattern. If you don't know, if you are very familiar with the pattern. If I stood here and explained to you what that spectrum is, you'd be able to say, oh, that's me, oh, that's my cousin, that's my daddy, that's my mama. When you understand the spectrum and you know where you fall, and you can see everybody else, then several things happen. The first is you can finally completely accept yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because you recognize every single person has it, and you don't have to sit in comparison. Instead, you can get in competition with self. Yeah. Just being the best you can be, making better decisions, okay? So when we talk about personal growth, then you need to know who you are. I ain't just talking about, I'm going to learn how to communicate a little bit better. No, if you don't know who you are, then your communication skills suck. I'm telling you, because you're going around trying to treat everybody else the way you want to be treated. Let me give you a tip. The golden rule sucks. I'm going to give you a moment with that, because some of y'all are like, ooh, blasphemy. Because the golden rule is not do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That screws a whole lot of people up. You going around trying to do unto others what you want them to do to you when they don't want what you want. They want what they want. But if you don't understand the full spectrum of individuality, then you don't know what you're doing. There's a breakdown. There's a collapse. That's why people talk about we don't communicate well. Well, I'm telling you right now, most of the confusion is between your own ears. You don't know you.
That's right.
And you're not going to know you if you don't love you. You're not going to know you if you don't actively love you. Your relationship with yourself determines all your other relationships. Some of y'all don't even see yourself when you look in the mirror in the morning. Y'all see a face, but you don't see you. You hear yourself, but you don't listen to yourself. You don't really talk and have conversations with yourself. Because some of this, Zara talked about temperaments, some of this is also your experiences. And if you don't spend a lot of your time, all of your time really, at least sometime during the day, whether it's through prayer, meditation, whatever, going back and differentiating between your own voice and all those other voices in your head that got planted.
Come on.
You keep doing things over and over again. You don't know why, but you don't realize it was a seed that was planted by your mama or your grandmama or your friend or some experience that you had that has nothing to do with the core of who you are. You need temperaments to understand what your voice is, and then you need self-love so you can pull your voice out and kick all the other ones out of your head.
That's right.
And that's an everyday love affair with yourself.
Yes. Whew. All right. Let me go before they tell me I gotta wrap up. How you got here is not as important as what you do now that you are here. Baby, let me take this from you. How many dad and his daughters we got in here? I gotta hit this. I gotta hit it, but I gotta go. So y'all know I just gotta hit it hard. I need y'all to have your big girl drawers on, be able to take this, and then go implement some stuff in your life that you are no longer living from that space of what you think is a void. Because the fact that you are here, preach. The fact that you are here is all that matters. Because here's the reality, parents. Children come through you, but they don't come for you. You did not come here for daddy. Now I'm going to tell you something else, because oftentimes when daddy ain't there, the relationship with mama ends up being something other than healthy. You ain't come here for mama either. You came here for you. That's why you got to get to a point that you hear only your voice. Because only your voice is the one that matters. Only your voice is going to lead you to your path of purpose. Only your voice is going to give you the satisfaction you need while you are here.
Yes. Yes.
You have an obligation to uproot any sense of unworthiness out of your system.
Your responsibility.
Being grown means no guilt. I'm a natural born people pleaser. It wasn't until I was in my late 40s, that I decided I had to make a conscious decision. I don't accept punishment from no one, including myself. I don't accept guilt from anyone, including myself. I don't accept shame for anyone, including myself. If I do something and I wish I had done it better, then I'll do it better.
Yes.
I don't apologize more than once for any offense. I do not read it. In fact, I think it was the Four Agreements. The author of the Four Agreements says human beings are the only species on the earth that punish itself over and over and over and over again for the same crime. And we do it to ourselves more than other people do it to us. You have to consciously declare war on any sense of guilt or shame in your life. Whether it's something you think you did or something that was done to you, you can't be grown if you're being shackled by guilt and shame. It does not mean you never did anything that you regretted. It means you did it, it happened, take the lesson. It doesn't make you any less worthy of love than it was when you were created. And if you don't believe that yourself, listen, if you love yourself, you will attract people who agree with you. If you don't love yourself, you will only attract people who agree with you. So don't worry about how you got here. My father wasn't in my life for 30 years. And that part of that people pleasing was like, what I got to do to make somebody want me as I'm a good brother, I'm a good young man, I'm a good son, I'm good. Why wouldn't he want me? I didn't get free until I released him and released me. And then I was like, wait, I was all that when I was created.
Come on.
I have no self-esteem issues, boy. It is so good to be me. I only have 2 kind of days. My staff knows it at Black Enterprise. They say Alfred only has excellent days and awesome days. Excellent is what I am, and awesome is what I have to be when it's a tough day. People say, but that can't be just a nice saying. It's inspirational. Ooh, hallelujah. It has to be something that you live every day. Follow my Instagram. I got a hell of a life. I got a bad partner. I'm in the gym. Under the suit, I'm like, I got 4 great children. I got, I'm saying, but I have a great life because it was great when I got it.
Yeah.
no matter how it started.
Right.
But if you don't believe that, guess what? Your standards will dictate what you experience.
And you're allowing how you got here to hover over you like a black cloud your entire life. Really? Because and here's the other reality we really don't have time to get into here. But anybody in your life who's present or not are only doing what they know to do.
Exactly.
And if daddy wasn't there, then daddy probably didn't have any intentions on being a father when he did what he did to your mama. That's all I'm saying. Okay? That means he wasn't equipped. He wasn't equipped. He didn't know how. He didn't have the tools. And that's why I'm telling you right now, you didn't have the tools to do any better than you did before we just dumped a bunch of stuff on you that now you got to go process and it's probably going to take you a week to get through.
Which is why you need forgiveness, acceptance, and compassion for yourself at all times. I now know, because now I have a relationship with my father, is about 6 years old, after 30 years of very little contact. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me was that he wasn't around. That's probably the best thing that ever. I mean, so sometimes you got to recognize that even though society may tell you you're damaged because of this and you're doomed because of that, just trust the process.
Yes.
I would not be the wonderful person that I am. I know this now, and I don't have any hate toward him. But if he had been around, that wouldn't have been good.
He wouldn't have gotten me. I can tell you that. Because I know my standards. All right, can we go there?
Yeah, I guess we have to. Go on, baby. Go on.
Are you ready to graduate? Yes.
Oh,
Just say this.
Yeah.
Your former self needs 3 things from you, y'all. Your future depends on it. Through the book, we touch on each of these principles we just gave you. Every single one of them. In adult graduation prep, we deal with them. We deal with each one of them. And I'm going to tell you what this graduation prep thing is. How many of you have done your grownadvice.com? Because here's what happens. You're going to find a surprise when you get there. It's really kind of like getting this PowerPoint. It's this PowerPoint and then some. So we really outlined some things for you with that, okay? All right. Yeah, I think y'all ready. Here's what I want to offer you. And I've got a package to offer you that I am going to, don't pay any attention to any of those numbers because we're going to do a very special something for everybody in here today, okay? So come and see us at our table. We've got a very special offer, those numbers, and actually we're adding to that even more. Alfred and I were having a conversation last night because this particular product will be available starting in May. You're the first ones to hear about it.
Yes.
So because you're the first ones, this is our pre stuff, okay? For this session, for the people in here, and as we're adding to it, even the value's going up, so that means the price is ultimately gonna go up too, all right? So come see us. What I wanted more than anything, y'all, was to be able to give you something to make you think differently about what healthy relationships are. To change the conversation about what healthy relationships are. That's what loving in the grown zone is. That's what we're doing here. And for baby, how are we gonna give one of these away? We gonna ask somebody asking a question?
Give it here. I got it.
Somebody asking? Can we ask a question? Can we got time for questions? All right. Let me make sure I'm done. All right, come to the book signing Saturday, y'all.
It's tomorrow at 4 o'clock p.m.
Not Sunday.
Sunday, excuse me. Sunday at 4 o'clock p.m. Please come out.
I think I'm done. All right.
Can you go back to that the slide?
I don't think it's gonna let me. I done messed it up.
Regina, can you go to the last slide, please? Does anyone have any questions for Alfred? Give them a round of applause, please.
I don't know if we're going to come up with a question. I hope someone will, but there's something I want to say. We got on this path before Zara and I knew each other. We didn't even know we were ever going to meet. And what we had in common was not only our own personal experiences with just choices that were so well-meaning and created so much destruction in the lives of our own lives as people that we love, but watching people over and over and over again doing things that society says makes perfect sense. Yeah, I met dude last night and I moved into my apartment last, Yeah, I don't really know him, but I had him up in my bed. I don't really know her, but I just paid
I just felt it.
I just felt it. I got my feelings. I got caught up. Love is not a disease.
That you
It's
can't.
not. Love and romance is not your opportunity to fill a void inside you that can only be filled by you. So we were complaining about everything from reality TV to things we saw people doing among our friends, and said, listen, somebody's got to take a stand up for what true love really is. People are lying on love.
Yes, they are.
There's no virtue that is lied on more than love. People say they did it for love. People say they killed for love. They cheat for love.
They stay in
steal for
destructive
love.
relationships.
They lie for love. They do all of this stuff that is absolutely unloving behavior. And no matter what your faith is, if you look at a definition of love, it bears no resemblance to everything that we call love in our society. And so our thing was that we are the defense attorneys for love.
Yes.
We're going to stand up and say, listen, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but it ain't love.
That's right.
And you can do whatever you want to do. We're not going to even hate on you for doing it, but we're going to defend this idea that it's not loving.
Yes.
All right? And so that's the passion that we have for what we're doing.
Yes. Is there any questions? Yes. Come to the mic so that everyone can hear you. If there's another question, please come to the mic as well so we can get them.
Work your way, work your way. We're going to get in as many as we
Yes.
can.
And make sure that you, if you're in Oklahoma City on Sunday, make sure that you attend their book signing. It's going to be
Bring some people with you.
Yeah,
Y'all don't want to be in the grown zone by yourself.
What's your question?
My question is, those telltale signs, like if you're dating a man and he doesn't love his mother, is there anything in the book about that?
Very good question. Thank you for sharing.
See, those are kind of common things that are very artificial yardsticks. Because you can't tell how much a man loves his mother at a glance. You can't. Here's the thing that we say in the book that people have a hard time wrestling with in the beginning because we're taught so much differently. There are things that attract you to people, and there are the things that sustain relationships. They're not the same thing. But the attractors you can see right away. If you think he's fine, if you think he treats his mama nice, all of that stuff is instant. And then we make permanent decisions based on those instant attractors that have nothing to do with, he can love his mother and be a dog.
Come on.
In fact, the fact that he loves his mother, it may be what makes him a dog, because he may think no woman is as good as his mama. And his mama may have been the one that told him, no woman is good enough for you.
Or he may not love his mother because he's seen Tom, Dick, and Harry in a rotation coming through mama's door. And no man can respect what he can't accept. So I tell women all the time, if you've got different men coming through and your little boy is seeing that, he's going to have a difficult time respecting women.
Yes, that's right.
So the answer to the question is that what a person is, male or female, is something that's only revealed over time. And we live in such an instant society. We want to,
Take your time.
find somebody on Facebook. We want to meet somebody at the club, meet somebody in church. Oh, you love the Lord, I'm going to marry him. That was my second marriage.
That was
I got
mine
married
too.
in less than 6 months because she was so godly. But that's too quick. That didn't tell me who she was. It told me what she was. She was a church-going woman. It didn't tell me who she was. And so we have to understand it takes time, which is what courtship was supposed to be all about. Remember when you used to date somebody to learn who they were? Remember?
It's not old-fashioned,
To watch
it's healthy.
them, to see how they reacted under pressure, to get past their representative and get a feeling of who they are, and where they come from, and what they do, and are they really entrepreneurs, or are they really like street entrepreneurs? The reason why we get caught out there, this is men and women, is because we just want to look at those attractors and make instant decisions, and then we're told, don't worry, you're in love, it's going to work out. There's a 50% divorce rate, and 80% of people in committed relationships are unhappy.
Wow.
80%, because we're playing Russian roulette with our lives and wondering why it doesn't come up winners all the time. Stop playing Russian roulette. You're going to catch a bullet.
There's a better way. There's a better way.
Process, and the book works out the process of what it means to be a grown person looking for grown, healthy, sustainable relationships. It's not luck. It's not the alignment of the stars. And I'm going to say this as a Jesus-loving man. It's not an anointing. It's not God to have some kind of soulmate out there for you, and you just. The soulmate principle is not even biblical. It comes from Greek philosophy that says Zeus split human beings that were androgynous into two different sexes as punishment for our pride, and we all will be trying to reunite. That has nothing to do with it.
I hope y'all listening.
So,
'Cause
so
I'm
you,
sick of
you
folks talking about
gotta
they
challenge
soulmate.
and reject a lot of what you're getting in a popular culture that tells you that love is a matter of luck, and that you can get somebody to fill a void inside you and complete you. Remember that? You complete me. From
Jerry Maguire screwed a lot of people up.
All that stuff is trash that gets you messed up.
Yes,
All right,
indeed.
very good. One more question.
In regards to setting boundaries, one thing I've always struggled with is I feel like it's all or nothing. When you're having struggles in your relationship, where you have that fight and he talks outside of his neck at you and says something that he should have said, the response from people is you either stay and put up with it or you go. And there doesn't seem to be, for me, I have not been able to learn how to set boundaries and teach people how to treat me without it just being an acceptance or a complete I'm out the door.
Well, that's,
Good question.
there are several layers to that, but I'm gonna stick to the one that has to do with you, because I ain't gonna talk about him. This ain't about him. This is not about how he talks to you, what he does, any of those things. Establishing boundaries goes back to understanding why you don't. What is it about me that allows me to let somebody treat me this way? That's where that self-loving stuff has to come from. And when you know why it is that you allow that, that's why y'all don't, if you don't do nothing else, go buy my temperament stuff.
Come on.
I mean, for real, you really do need to know who you are. Understand that it is your responsibility to establish how he's going to treat you. The moment somebody speaks down to you or in a wayward way, you got children with them and all of that stuff. I understand that you want to try and give it an opportunity, but give it an opportunity.
One opportunity. There's a section we talk about forgiveness in the book. We've been taught some messed up stuff about forgiveness.
Woo, in the church too.
Forgiveness just means you don't punish them for what they did. It doesn't mean you give them permission to do it.
Please say that again.
Forgiveness means you don't punish them or ask for payback for what they did. It does not mean they get permission to continue to do it. So I'm going to say something that's very hard that I had to learn. If you're really going to set boundaries, you can't let a violation happen twice. And it might mean you do have to I'm out.
Pack up and leave.
I'm done.
Or pack your stuff and put it out.
Maybe you're already in a relationship, maybe you have children, and it's a harder decision, but trust me, I stayed in 2 marriages too long because I kept thinking, I can't leave now.
Right.
And guess what happened? It got worse and worse and worse because your tolerance of behavior rewards behavior.
Now I'm on the other end, y'all. I pack it up and I'm out. That's why I tell you, when people talk about, ooh, they've been divorced, ooh, they divorced, oh, God frowns on divorce. Well, that's some ignorance talking.
Right.
That's straight ignorance. You say I do in the space that you're in. Okay? Now, I'm so glad I'm not in that space 20 years ago, child. I don't know who that child was 20 years ago who said I do to that food. But guess what? Here's what I recognize. I was a fool too. And if you can't look over your life and see a fool, you still want.
Come on.
Marriage is a contract. And one of the reasons we tell you to withhold those 4 things, because each of those 4 things, access to your body, money, home, and heart is your emotional security and safety. Those are bonding tools. They bond you.
Hear that.
Those 4 things bond you. And you don't want to get bonded to somebody before you know who they are.
Hear that.
So marriage is a contract. And if somebody violates the contract is null and void.
Okay,
But the key is to not enter in the contract so easily. Any fool can get married, and they do every day. We bring down the divorce rate by not marrying so quick. That's how you bring down the divorce rate. There's nothing wrong with the institution of marriage. We just use it for all the wrong reasons.
Okay, y'all, I want to do 2 things. First, I want to get this book away. Is there anybody who has a birthday today? No? Well, I guess I got to resort to pull a number. Pull a number. Somebody pull a number. All right, see, it was your birthday. I'm trying to get you a present. See, it's your birthday? Today? Not yesterday, not tomorrow. Okay, see, pull a number. She's trying to trick it out. Everybody got the numbers?
Y'all want this book. Last 3 numbers are 9, 3, 0.
All right, they're not here, they're not here.
Right there, right there.
All right, one other thing, y'all, one other thing. Look, you're the lucky girl. It is 930 too. All right, meet us at the table and we'll sign it for you. Okay. Please, 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 please clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. We can tell you. Go ahead, DJ. Yeah. It's your thing. Yeah, do what you want to do.
Rolls on, keep it roll, don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Who have done those things. So we're not coming at you like we're here and you're there. We walk the path that we're trying to prevent other people from walking down.
That we are preventing.
So the standard is it healthy for you or is it unhealthy for you?
Yes.
If it's unhealthy for you, no matter what they call it, it's not love.
Right.